a little far forward. Maybe a little far forward. Not much. Big Slim, what's up? How are you doing? I'm just having one of these like bad shooting days. And it's kind of killing my self-esteem a little bit. Like it sucks. But then tomorrow I'll come out and I'll be shooting dimes, you know? And like this at 13 yards is a bad shooting day for me. So I can't complain too much, but nevertheless. What's up, everybody? What's everyone up to tonight? Rockin' Tuesday night. Kason, what's up? ASIC. No, I didn't miss. It's in there. You just can't see it. Hang on. I don't miss, buddy. Except if you look at the reels on Facebook, I might have missed yesterday. I don't know. To be fair, I don't think yesterday was my fault. BC, I'm not that good, man. I missed a doe yesterday. It was crazy. Like I had a bunch of deer coming in. They were already on edge because somebody spooked them out on the other side of the bedding, and it just is what it is. Thanks, Kason. I appreciate it. Like that's far back. I don't like how back that one is. I'm fatigued. My back is sore. I'm shooting way more than I normally do. Ooh, that sounded expensive. Yeah, BC, I definitely did on that one. Elliot, I shot 118-inch 10-point last year in Pennsylvania. And then this year, technically that wasn't the biggest buck I shot. That was the biggest buck I recovered. This year I shot a a giant buck, a giant in Pennsylvania standards, 120 plus with the recurve, and we did not recover it because I hit it in the shoulder. So that was a hard lesson to learn for me, but it is what it is, you know. Have I ate sushi? Yeah, I love sushi, Kason. Actually, I just had some yesterday while I got out of the woods around, I don't know, 11 o'clock. And then I went to Wegmans for lunch. Got some sushi. Yeah, I've by no means killed a lot of giant bucks. This is what it is. BC. The lighted nocks, like I use them while I'm hunting, so I like to run the same hunting setup that I'm practicing with. That's pretty much the only reason I do it, and I like you guys to be able to see it. IFE, what's up, brother? How are you doing? You know, we're just getting after it like usual. Why are you trying to hit? What do you mean, Kason? This is practice, so that way when I go out deer hunting, I can hopefully get it done. Alice, I mean, my back is sore, but that's from shooting. I think your question is more geared towards Tony. He's the one with the back issues. I just I don't know what my problem is. I'm getting locked, like aiming below the deer, and I need to bend in my hips a little more, I think, or something. And then that's the reason I'm pulling right, because I'm lifting up at the last second to compensate. I mean, that'd be a dead deer any day of the week. Yeah, I prefer to aim for like a double lung shot. But I will say that the deer yesterday, like I took a 25-yard shot on a doe, and she was able to, I mean, she was alert, right? And I knew she was alert because something spooked them out of the bedding. But that being said, like she was able to duck and turn completely out of the path of my arrow before the arrow hit where it was intended to go. So with a compounder or a crossbow, that never would have happened. She would have caught that arrow, went 50 yards, and I would have been dragging a deer out. But there we go. If I remember to aim down on target before I actually draw back, it works better. So hopefully you guys don't hate me. But I did take I took the compound out tonight. I shot one shot at 35 yards, absolutely drained it, and I was like, you know, I think I'm taking this out to hunt on Thursday. You know, I've killed 4 deer with the recurve so far this season, and I think I'm just at that point where I'm like, you know, it's hard enough. Like there's no leaves on the trees. I got to climb 30 feet in the tree. Like it's a hard angle. It's a bad angle with a recurve. And I think I'm just at that point. Like I'm ready to go off on Slaughterfest 2024. I've killed my buck with the recurve. Like I did everything I set out to do, and now I'm just trying to put some more deer in the freezer. I don't know if I'm even going to keep them. I'll give them away to other people. But I'm trying to make content. Like, you know, you guys know what it is. And I just really like killing deer. I don't know what's wrong with me. Crazy, I know, right? Patrick, what's up, man? How are you doing? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? Snowstorm on Saturday. Hunter, we're not getting a snowstorm. We're getting a lot of rain and really cold weather on Friday, though. So Saturday I'll be out. Thursday I'll be out. Friday, when it's 37 degrees and raining, I will not be out. Bugs, what's up? What's up? Yeah, Alice, and the other part is like it's kind of just, I think it's more ethical, right? Like the deer are very, very alert right now. They're very aware of hunters' presence. And after I missed that doe yesterday, and like looking back at the video, I slowed it down frame by frame. Like that arrow was headed straight for her heart. Like it was a good shot. She was able to duck and turn at 25 yards before the arrow hit, right? Like I just want to make sure I'm taking ethical shots on deer, you know? Bugs, do you see anything? I'm assuming you were hunting for deer. I appreciate it, IFE. Appreciate it, appreciate it. How is everybody else's hunting season going, though? IFV, I feel like I haven't talked to you in like weeks, man. How's your season going? Ooh. Hopefully you can get him, Bugs. It's crazy how much that insert is blown out already. Oh, dude, I love pheasant. Pheasant is hands down my favorite animal to hunt for because I think it's the best tasting. And I mean, they're fun. You know, you don't have to be like super quiet. You just walk around until you push one and then blast them. Yeah, IFE. I'm using both. So I got my Easton Legacy arrows. I got like my hunting practice arrows, and then I got the Link Boy arrows here. I'm using both. I don't know. Like I was shooting the recurve earlier, my hunting one, and I only took like 10 shots out of it, and I shot like crap, so I didn't feel like doing it anymore. What's up, Riley? How are you doing? So IFV, maybe you can talk about this a little bit. This is a fake deer case, and it's just a practice target. IFV, I was looking at the San Lita X9, or is it X8? I was looking at the longbow. It's like a 66-inch longbow. Have you heard anything about it? It looks like overall for the brand, it looks like they have pretty decent reviews. I think the longbow's like 100, 120 bucks, something like that. But it's 68 inches, which is why I really want it. I don't know why, the longer AMO bows just seem to stack better for me. Arrow, have you heard about the San Lita Eagle X9 longbow? It's like a 68-inch longbow. It looks nice. I'm sure it's a knockoff of something else because, you know, they produce a lot of these like Chinese manufactured bows, but I'm not hating on them. So, Bugs, I got to make it down there, dude. I want to go down. Not I want to. I'm going down to Maryland Thursday and Saturday, and I will be taking the compound. So, you know, I plan on killing at least a doe. I'm hoping 2 does and a buck, something like that. Maybe it's unrealistic expectations, but it is what it is. Riley, we've never accidentally hit the car, but we have shot the car on purpose. Tell me why. All right, Bugs, like I'm down, man. I don't know, I've said that already. We'll figure out sometime. Yeah, Arrow, like my problem is that with my hunting setup, I'm drawing 31 inches, but realistically, I'm drawing like 32 inches. I do a little bit shorter because then I know that when my broadhead touches the riser, I'm at full draw, even though it's not technically full draw. But you get into weird angles with the saddle, you know what I mean? Yeah, IFV, that's, you know, that's probably the other thing for me too, like as a relatively new trad guy. You know, this being my first year, I'm really giving the trad bows a chance. Just the longer AMO just seems to be the way to go. It's not as versatile in a hunting scenario, but I could send you the link or something to it. But I think I'm already sold on it. I'm just gonna buy it and then I'll do a review on it or something. Ben, what's up, man? Like that was far back. That was a bad shot. I think I'm also gonna get it in 40 pounds because then I'll be drawing about 48, and that could be my new hunting bow if I like it a lot. A lot of people like the longbows over the recurves too. It just seems like they stack better, you know? Kaysen, I am Al. Al is my name, A-L, short for Alfred. How much did that cost, IFE, if you don't mind me asking? I feel like when I eventually get my my Damon Howitt, I'm gonna be really disappointed because I'm spending, you know, 900 bucks on that bow, and I feel like it's not gonna shoot. Not that it won't shoot as good or better than the bows I have, but it's 10 times the cost of the bows I have, you know? And I feel like for the money, it's, you know, and they're beautiful bows. Like you're paying for the craftsmanship. It's the same thing as like bamboo fly rods, you know? You're not paying for performance necessarily, you're paying for the craftsmanship that goes into it. Arrow, in my hunting setup, I'm using 650 grain overall arrow weight. These are the Easton Legacy arrows. They come in at like, I forget what it is, like 10.9 GPI, I think. Matty B, what's up, man? Haven't seen you in a while. So I might switch next year. I might switch to like a lighter arrow, go about 550 grains. I like the punch that these pack, but I don't think it's entirely necessary for whitetails, especially if you're only taking like high reward scenarios or high reward shots, you know. Alaska, what's up, man? How are you doing? Like, that was low. That was such a bad shot. I'm just not shooting good today. It's hard for me to focus, like, everything about it. Falcons are 500, so that's not bad. Why do I keep beating Tony up? I'm not beating Tony up. Riley, these are silencers. They're just beaver fur. There's nothing special about them. They help quiet the bow down, reduce the vibrations a little bit. Missy, what's up? How are you doing? But yeah, I don't know, guys. Like, I think I'm just at the point in the season. Like, I'm gonna pick up the compound again. Part of it is I just really want to go off. I don't want to only kill 4 deer this year, which we have rifle season coming up. And I know I've talked about hunting with the rifle, and I fully intend to. Tony and I are going down to Maryland for the first 4 days of rifle season, and I am not super picky with the buck I shoot. If it's a 100-inch plus deer, if it's an 80-inch plus deer, I'll probably shoot it. Like, I'm not super picky. But yeah, I just kind of want it. Like, I've been on the grind all season. I did what I set out to do, and now I think I'm gonna pick up the compound again for a little bit while the season is super difficult, because there's no leaves on the trees or anything. So thanks, Rabbit. Yeah, we're doing a quartering away shot. I can. Hang on. Whoa, that was almost bad. Wrong arrow and the wrong bow. Whoops. That's about quartering away, right? Can you see that? That's gonna depend, TJ. That depends a lot. On a quartering away shot like this, I'm gonna aim a little further back than where I would if it was broadside. Let me see. Like, right there, I'm going in through guts, but I'm coming out through lung. You know, like, you kind of want to aim for that opposite side shoulder. Everybody says that. That's what everybody tries to practice, but it's the truth. You aim for the opposite side shoulder. If you are super high in a tree, like if you're 30 feet in a tree right now, you need to be aiming right off the spine. So, like, your entrance is going to be just off that spine. And hopefully you don't hit it, but if you do, my philosophy is that a spine deer is not a bad shot as long as you know you need to knock another arrow right away and put another arrow in it. Like that shot right there is not a bad shot. I would take that. Like your arrow's probably getting gutty and you're probably hitting that opposite side shoulder, so you might not have an exit wound, but you know, just from a lethality perspective, I think that quartering away shot is probably one of the most ethical shots you can take, just because you're going to mess up everything. I don't know, like that shot's like, that one's in there, but I don't think that's where I want it to be. I think that one's just a little too far forward. Like I'm probably hitting heart, but I'm probably not hitting anything else. Not that you need to hit any more than heart. There's just not a lot of wiggle room to be wrong with it, with that angle. Who's saying Robin Hood? Dude, I can't Robin Hood anything. I can barely shoot a consistent group at 13 yards. Like that's not a good shot. That's a little too far back. I mean, I might still nick one long. That's a little too far back. Like, here's the thing, though. All of these are pretty much kill shots. Like, all of them, you know. Not that you want to gut shoot a deer, but it's a dead deer. You just have to be able to analyze your shot and realize that you can't go look for that deer for, you know, 12 hours. And I know you're saying gut shot, but, like, what you have to think about is where's that arrow coming out? Like, this arrow right here on the end is still coming out through lung. Like it's gonna hit probably some liver and it's probably gonna hit some lung coming out the other side. Think about your exit, not your entrance, you know? Your arrow's getting gutty either way on a hard quartering away shot. Like I don't think there's a way around it. That one's probably about perfect. That's going to be a double lunger. That deer's not going 45 yards. Now the quartering two shot is the one that you really don't want to mess up. You have a lot less room for error on that. In my opinion, I don't know. Everybody can form their own opinions, but the quartering two shot is hands down the one that I am most hesitant to take. Yeah, David, it is. Yeah, it's a knockoff of the Samick Sage. I've also got the Black Hunter here too. I got both of them. David, yeah, dude, it's fantastic. I've taken 4 deer with it this year. It's super accurate and it's awesome. Like, in my opinion, that's probably the best quartering two shot you could make. I mean, just behind the shoulder. The problem is, that's probably still only single lung and then some liver. And that's why the quartering two shots are really, really rough. But it's good to practice them. Yes, Austin, I do hunt. No, we've never done turkey with the bow, but I think this year we might. And those are touching. But that shot, like it's slightly further to the right, just a little bit, but that's going to be liver and gut. Like that's just not. It's the quartering twos are rough. Preston, 118-inch 10-point in Pennsylvania is the biggest deer I've gotten. This is my third season hunting, so I'm relatively new. My partner Tony is the one who's he's been doing this for a while. This year he's killed a 137 and like a 125 out of Maryland and Pennsylvania. So he's the one that's killing big deer. I'm just out here, you know, doing what I like to do. Slaughtering deer with a stick and string. I mean, at least now I'm consistent when I really have to be. See, that's a little high, but I would take that. Double lunger, maybe. Maybe single lunger and some liver, I don't know. But I would take that shot. Richard, I can tell you right now, it is very easy to overbow yourself with these things. This is only a 35-pound bow. I'm overdrawing, so I'm pulling about 43 to 45 pounds with it. But it's too much weight for the beginner. It took me, I struggled a lot because I started too heavy. And I think that's probably my biggest advice to somebody is start with a 20 or 25 pound bow. Don't overbow yourself. And then it allows you to go out and shoot all day and really work on your form. That was way too high. Probably still a kill shot. That was a little too high. Ben, are you talking a recurve or are you talking a compound? Because my first compound, because I just got it last year, was a 70-pound compound. And I think with compounds, because of the let off nowadays, I'm not going to say you can't overbow yourself, but it'll be kind of hard to, I think. Yeah, Richard, for a recurve or a trad bow in general, that's way too much to start with. And honestly, 60 pounds for anything, I think for hunting purposes, for whitetails is a lot of weight. I know a lot of people do it, but I don't see the point in it. I'm shooting 43 pounds and I'll get pass-throughs like it's nothing. How far can I shoot? Well, there's a video out right now, Preston, of me taking a 50-yard shot, and you can see I hit a little low, but then on the second shot, I hard shot the target. So, I mean, you can shoot pretty far with these. Tony and I have shot out to 70-ish yards, but not accurately by any means. That being said, I'm also shooting with with a hunting setup, which is 650 grains of arrow. If I were actually going to try and target shoot out to 70 yards, I would probably use a 300 grain arrow, you know? So there's some differences. That was high. That was way high. Alaska, I appreciate it. It's crazy because you can see the arc in that arrow, and you see that I'm literally aiming 10 feet above the deer because the arrow goes up like this and then comes down and hits the leg. Like it's crazy. The fact that it got 1.6 million views yesterday is pretty crazy too, but. That was our first video to break 1 million views. It was pretty cool. So, but that's like one of these videos. Like that thing's been up for, I don't know, 2 months, over 2 months, and then all of a sudden yesterday morning, I saw that we were getting all these like notifications on Facebook, and it was at like 80,000. I'm like, oh, that's freaking sweet. And then next thing I know, like I check it at the end of the hunting day, and it's at like 1.3 million. I'm like, whoa. Like that video just went off, and there's like 500 comments on it and stuff. It's crazy. Fishing girl, what's up? How are you doing? Jay Sharp, thanks for hopping on, man. Appreciate it. Barrett, we hunt whitetail deer mostly. No, Richard, don't start. Like these bows that I'm shooting are $80 bows. It's not expensive. Don't overbow yourself. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to get bad form, and you're overall just not going to have fun with the experience. Trad bow shooting is fun. It can get frustrating at times when you're not having a good night, like shooting like I am right now. But yeah, like don't overbow yourself, or it's going to suck. Probably my number one biggest piece of advice. Number two is going to be tune your arrows. You don't really have to bare shaft tune arrows with a compound. Most of those spine charts are pretty accurate. With recurves and longbows, you absolutely need to bare shaft tune. You're going to have way better results. That would probably be my second piece of advice. That one's a little far back. Yeah, IFE will tell you the way it is, man. He's been shooting trad bows longer than I have. And even then, like normally, like I'll shoot this bow. This is my hunting bow. I'll shoot this more on the lives, or I've been shooting it more on the lives. But normally, I'll only take 2 shots a night out of this bow. Like right before dark. 2 minutes before legal is up, I'll come out and I'll shoot 2 shots, and that's all I take with this bow. No, I have not been there. Rabbit, what's new with you, man? What have you been up to? Preston, what's up? How are you doing? That arrow just punches through. It's crazy to me. I would think, is your bow handcrafted? No, Barrett, these are made in some Chinese manufacturing plant somewhere. It's an $80 bow, but it's super nice for the money. I don't think you can beat it. Both of the bows I shoot on here, my Black Hunter is my practice bow, and my Samick Sage knockoff is my hunting bow. And both of these bows are fantastic. I don't think as a new bow hunter you can go wrong with either one of them. Yeah, we are based out of Pennsylvania. I mean, Pennsylvania is a pretty big state, though. You know, I can drive 4 hours and not leave Pennsylvania. So we're like central Pennsylvania. Pat, what's up? Thanks for hopping on. I love seeing the local guys on here. One of our moderators, Bugs, he's a pretty local guy. We got some other people from Ohio. Can I hit the target without the glasses? You know what? I love a challenge, and we'll try it. Man, I am blind as a bat, though. All right. Can't even see what I'm doing. Let's give this a go. I mean, it looks like a pretty decent shot. It might be a little too far forward for a quartering 2 shot, but without my glasses on, I mean, everything's kind of blurry. I can see the arrow tip, and that's about it. Let me put these back on, see where I'm actually hitting. Yeah, first shot's probably a little too far forward. My second one isn't bad. Kick. Well, I have my hunting arrow right here. So I have an Easton Legacy arrow. They're like, I think they're 10.9 GPI. And then I got the lighted knock in there. And then I am running the Zwicky 2-blade with bleeders. Now the bleeders are broken off on this one because it's a practice arrow. But I will say I started the season off with the VPA 3 blades, and I've gone to these. There's nothing wrong with the VPA 3 blades in a perfect world where you get a perfect broadside shot. I think they're great. When you have to punch through something and you're already shooting a bow that lacks, you know, speed and momentum, I think the 2 blades with bleeders are the way to go. And I've gotten some superb blood trails with these. So, Cynthia, what's up? How are you doing? Farm Boy, what's up? Thanks for hopping on. Everybody. I appreciate that. Everybody likes seeing me shoot without my glasses on. Harvey, what's up? No, I got the wood stove going, man. She's fired up. I'm actually sweating right now. I'm about to take the jacket off. Actually, I'll probably just do that now because it is getting kind of warm in here. If I didn't have the wood stove going, though, it would be kind of cold. It's rainy, it's cold outside, kind of miserable. Almost makes me miss hunting early season, but I'll tell you what, I don't miss those mosquitoes, not one bit. Yeah, the wood stoves are nice. I have to run a separate chimney, but I'd really like to put one in my basement to kind of save on our oil bill every month. IFV, I have contacts, but I've had a lot of issues wearing them. So I don't wear them very often, and I don't like to take them with the woods just because I don't know if I'm gonna have like a bad eye day where my eyes dry out too bad and I just can't wear them, so. But no, I probably should try that here at some point. That was way high. Wow, that was awful. I think I overdrew that a little bit, and then I pulled it, and it just wasn't a good scenario. That was rough. Yeah, coal stove would be cool too. Yeah, IFV, it probably is. And I do really believe that the glasses negatively impact my shooting. But there's not much I can do about it. Kip, I'm shooting 650 grains. I have 200 grain inserts. I forgot to mention that. I have 250 grain inserts in my hunting arrows, which brings me to 650 grains. And yeah, I agree with you. They're awesome. The only thing I don't like is I haven't found a good way to sharpen them. Like I cannot get them razor sharp. And I'm not good at sharpening broadheads to begin with. The 3 blades are super easy to sharpen. You know, I mean, you just put them on sandpaper and just, you know, just push them right over top of it, and it sharpens them up, and you just slowly change the grit. But I've had a lot of trouble with the 2 blades. Barrett, this is my 3rd season, and I've taken 4 deer with a recurve. This is my 3rd season deer hunting at all. I've never taken a deer with a rifle. We're gonna change that this year, though. I'm gonna do it. Golden, that's awesome, man. Subscribe to the channel. We do this like multiple times a week. We try to do this every night. I'm probably going to start and try some lives on Facebook as well. Yeah, Kip, I've used the Bear razor heads, which are a single bevel, and I'm not gonna lie to you, for the $80 a pack that I paid for them, I was incredibly unimpressed. I bought 6 of them, and 2 of them went through targets, and then they broke because they hit a rock in the ground or something. And I'm not talking like they just dented or chipped a little bit. I'm talking the entire broadhead broke in half. And for me, I'm like, dude, why am I paying $80 a pack for 3 broadheads, and they're gonna split in half? Like, and from what everybody else says, they've gone down in quality quite a bit over the years. So I refuse to buy those again, at least. I also haven't, like, I didn't play around with heavier inserts early in the season. I was running 75 grain inserts, and that was one of the reasons I was running the VPA 3 blades, because they go up to like 300 grains with those, and that's what I was running. I have 250s and I have 300 grains. And so, like, I just didn't even, I'm not gonna say I didn't know that they made inserts that were heavy enough. I just didn't even think about it, so. If you're looking solely at 300 grain broadheads, that influences what you're getting a lot, because there's not a whole lot of them. Alaska, it sounds like a plan, brother. It sounds like a plan, especially because I'm probably not going through the course that I need to go through, the practical exercise to actually hunt with a bow. So somehow I knocked out the light on the other lighted knock. That arrow's a little high. I think I'd still kill a deer there, though. Richard, what are you trying to figure out, man? I think it's pretty straightforward. You just buy the license. The only confusing part might be the doe tag process for Pennsylvania. You need to start applying for doe tags, or I guess buying them, it's like in July sometime. That was back. Chicken nuggets and fries. Ooh, I had steak and asparagus for dinner. I need to lose some weight. I got to get back on the carnivore diet. It's kind of like my diet of choice for losing weight quickly. Come on. Plucking the string real bad. So the nice thing about this channel is I might not know everything about trad bows, but we have a lot of people in the chat who have been shooting them for, 10, 15, 20 years or longer. So we've kind of built that community, and this is definitely the right place to ask questions. Moose ribs. Ooh, how do you make them, Alaska? You just like do them up in the smoker like you would like normal ribs, or? Rabbit. I actually looked at getting some rabbits here because I tried it previously and I failed miserably. I don't know if I failed. My wife took rabbits that were inside and stuck them outside when it was like 17 degrees in Pennsylvania. And they died because, hey, that's a hell of an adjustment for rabbits. And I don't know why she did that. But nevertheless, I plan on getting some meat rabbits here shortly. I'm looking at like the New Zealand's, I think, is what I'm gonna go with. That's my plan anyway. I don't know, we'll see. But especially for someone trying to do the carnivore diet, I think it's hard to beat rabbit meat because they reproduce so quickly. It's just, they're cheap to raise. I'd like to get some chickens too and raise them in a little pen. Yeah, rabbit. Like I really think it was just the adjust. Like she took them from inside because she was cleaning the house. I don't know why she decided to move their pen like outside, but she did it, and it was 17 degrees out. And I came home from work, and they were all just like frozen. I was like, wow, that's not cool. I feel like I held that back forever. I don't like doing that. But I can shoot instinctual split finger with the bow like it's nothing. I don't understand. Sometimes the trad bows just don't make sense to me. Yeah, the tire's flat because we shot it with an arrow. Yeah, but rabbit, what if I got like 4 does and 1 buck? Or do you think I need 2 bucks at that point? Missy, do you want me to shoot the tire? I'll do it again. I'm not scared. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I just need to actually go about getting some New Zealands. The problem I have is I got to get them from they do like a livestock auction. You know, I'm central Pennsylvania, so we get a lot of like Amish and Mennonites. So I got to go to the livestock auctions, and I'm not very good at identifying what the rabbits look like as babies. You know. I think we're gonna close this a little. It's getting smoky. She's ripping though. Fire is ripping. I mean, unless you have a trusted, yeah, translucent, we're a little different. Missy, I can't shoot the tire. The last time I did that, the arrow came right back at me. I didn't care for it, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, tell me how I can shoot instinctively and like I'm like right there. I don't feel like I'm far off. And I'm doing split finger, like in the garage. Crazy, crazy. That was a little high. I'll give you that. Let's just send a broadhead into the wall. Could be fun. Country girl, you should be shooting the bow or something. I don't know. Like, that was with a broadhead and my hunting arrow. Like, at some point, I think once you put like 15,000 shots through a bow, it just becomes instinctive to some point, you know? Well, country girl, I don't know where you're at, but you know you're welcome to shoot with me and Tony any night, so. Well, maybe split finger works better for instinctive than 3 under, because that deer is going to be walking around with an arrow in its neck. And we don't want to do that. Let's try this again. Still a little high. Still a little high. Yeah, but aren't normally like New Zealand's or the Californians or what's the other one? The Giants. Oh, that's gonna bug the crap out of me. I can't think of what they're called. Aren't they normally the meat rabbits because the bone to meat ratio is better? No, it has not started snowing yet, but it wouldn't surprise me if it started snowing tomorrow in the northern parts of Pennsylvania. I'm sorry, not tomorrow, on Friday. Friday we're supposed to get rain, and it's supposed to be like 37 degrees. So, I mean, we're right on the brink of like, we might see a mix here, you know, you never know. And then the northern parts of the states will probably see some snow. All right, so they're not a good feed. Okay, I see what you're doing. Okay, interesting. Yeah, we could have a whole conversation about this because I'm trying to get this figured out. No, translucent, I have not heard of him. Can I headshot the target? Missy, for you, I'll try, okay? That's the best I can do because I'm not shooting too good tonight. I'm not ready for snow. Like I kind of am. I'm just not ready for that like extreme cold of winter yet, where like it's just 20 degrees for 3 weeks straight. All right, this one's going out for Missy. I'm gonna try and headshot him. I mean, it's in the head, kind of, sort of. Translucent, man. I just had a conversation at work today, and I think I'm just going to get serious about selling the car. Um, my big thing recently is I have forgone some of the comforts and luxury in life because I am pouring everything I have into the YouTube, into the Facebook, everything like our social media to make a successful hunting channel. And as of right now, the car is doing nothing for me. I need to put 2 days worth of work into it. I need to put $3,000 into it to at least to do what I want to do with it. And with $6,000, I could open up this other bay in my garage, and then I could be shooting 20 yards instead of 13. And I think that does a lot more for me than this other stuff. Than keeping it and driving it and then paying. It's more money going out of my pocket, not coming in. So. The other thing is like I have a daughter, so I don't really speed much anymore. I'll go 5 or 10 miles an hour over the speed limit, but I think my days of going 130 miles per hour in a car are long gone. I do not have a desire to drive fast. I appreciate everybody smashing that like button. I appreciate everybody, giving us shout outs right now, trying to get people to do it. That was so bad. Ugh, I plucked the string so bad. Does my daughter look like me? My wife is Filipino, so my daughter has, kind of like the same skin complexion, and she's got like puffier cheeks than I do. But she has this like shit-eating grin when she's doing something she's not supposed to, and I 100% think it's an exact replica of me. So that's kind of cool. My wife can leave me, and she'll have to deal with that for the rest of her life. So there's that. Jordan, what's up? How are you doing? Nah, my daughter is way better looking than I am. She's adorable, man. She's awesome. You want to see a split finger shot? I got you, Jordan, here. Split finger for you. I didn't really aim. I just tried to shoot instinctual. Why don't you hunt for real? Translucent, I do. I've got them chalked up. I've killed 4 deer with this bow this year. I do hunt for real. I missed a doe yesterday. They came in, they were super spooked because someone pushed them out of the bedding, and I went, meh, and instead of stopping where she was at like 19 yards, she turned around and she bounced an extra 2 or 3 steps, and I had her at 25 yards. I released the arrow, and by the time that arrow hit where it was supposed to, she was gone. Like, these bows just move so slowly. Like, I should have known better, but I did it anyway, and we're gonna chalk it up to a learning experience. I'm just glad I didn't have a bad shot on her. But that being said, I think at this point in the season, I'm gonna take the compound out. I did what I set out to do. I killed some does with the recurve. I killed my buck with the recurve. Like, I'm super happy of everything I've accomplished, and I think now I'm out because I want to kill some deer. So. I mean, I think I'm pretty real about the hunting. Like I'm not going to toot my own horn here, but there's not too many hunting channels where they're going to show you guys 2 misses and a really bad shot on a buck in a year. And if you archery hunt long enough, it's going to happen. If you do it with a trad bow, it is most certainly going to happen. But like Tony and I from day one have said, like, we're going to show you guys everything. And I think we've been pretty true to that. I haven't even posted the buck I shot. I posted the miss that I had yesterday, but I haven't even posted the buck I killed yet. So, you know, it's just kind of, yeah, Farm Boy, I killed my buck like 2 weeks ago and I haven't even posted the video yet. But I posted the video of me missing a doe yesterday with the trad bow. So I need to get on that. Maybe tonight I'll work on that video a little bit. I cannot have a beard. Vacation City. Dude, it's been a while. What's up, man? Where have you been? I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, Alice, like we're not, you know, like Tony and I, we're two average guys. We both have families. We both work full time. We're just trying to show people that you can be an average guy and still kill a lot of deer a year. You know, it's not super difficult as long as you know what you're doing. Farm Boy, that's awesome, man. You got to savor those moments. My dad's getting to that age where it's really hard for him to get out in the woods and walk more than 200 to 300 yards. So on public land, like I'm super limited where I can put him. And then even then, I grunted in a really nice buck for him. What was that, last week? And at 25 yards, like he never even saw it. So he's just not, you know, like he's not able to do that stuff anymore. So you got to savor those moments, man. They go quick. It's crazy with the trad bow how if you just focus on one spot and you just focus and you focus and you focus, you can hit that spot like every time. Jordan, I agree with that entirely, man. And I'll tell you what, I don't know how much I'll hunt with the trad bow in the future. I absolutely love it, and I fully intend on using it every single season for as long as I can. But like chasing big bucks, it's not probably the tool of choice, you know? But the lessons I've learned from using it and how to close that gap, you know, I used to be like, all right, like how do I get within 40 yards of where I think this deer is gonna come by? And now I'm like, how do I get within 20 yards of where this deer is gonna come by? And normally I'm right within 5 to 10 yards, you know? Which a deer within 30 yards with a compound is an absolutely slam dunk shot. Farm Boy, I've never taken a deer with a rifle. I've killed 14 deer, none of them in the last 3 years, and none of them have been with the rifle, so. But this year, I plan on taking a deer with the rifle. Yeah, Jordan, like I'm so thankful I picked up the trad bow. Like even flaws in my form with shooting a compound, I didn't know, like I never used back tension when shooting the compound. I just didn't do it. I didn't know what it was, you know? And since I've picked up the recurve, my compound shooting has gotten infinitely better. So there's so many benefits to doing it. If you're gonna try it, like just go out and try and kill a doe with it. Like you're gonna learn so many lessons. Unfortunately, they might not all be easy lessons. You know, a lot of them are not fun lessons to learn, but they're ones that make you a way better hunter. So, you know, I'm super happy I took up this journey, and it is what it is, you know. I'm not going to sit here and say I haven't made bad shots this season, because I post them all for you guys to see and enjoy and hopefully learn from. That's my big goal with posting them. Like I don't enjoy posting a video where I just what where I just liver shot and gut shot a deer. Like it's not enjoyable for me. I hate doing it. But if somebody can learn a lesson from it, like, hey, that shoulder was already back and your point of aim was too far back. If that shoulder was forward, you would have had perfect aim. But, you know, like there's certain lessons you learn as you go on. And, you know, and I hope somebody on here learns that lesson so they don't have to make the same mistake. That's all. Yeah, Jordan, I think that's probably what I'm going to be leaning towards in the future here. Especially when it's easy early season when there's leaves on the trees and I don't have to climb 30 to 35 feet in a tree. It's easy and you get nice shots. You know, the deer aren't super spooked. They're not super skittish. They're not jumping strings. And, you know, it's just a better time to use the recurve. And I think for going on later in the season, like where I'm at right now, I think the compound is the way to go. And I think it's probably the most ethical way that I can go where, you know, I don't have anything against crossbows by any means. I encourage everybody to start with a crossbow because it's going to minimize your chance for failure. But I really, like it kind of gives you the best of both worlds where you still have to draw back on the animal, but you have a more efficient killing tool, you know? So I think that is where I'm at. And I think over the next 2 weeks, you guys are going to see me absolutely go off. Because I should have 10 deer in the freezer right now, and I have 4. And I don't really even intend on keeping them. I'm going to give them away to friends who haven't gotten deer or who haven't gotten out to go hunting or who just don't hunt anymore but still want the deer meat. But yeah, I just getting some kills on video is really what we need for the channel. So. I don't know why that was so high. I don't know why. Yeah, Rabbit, I'm with you, man. If it's legal, like, honestly, like, I'm the dumb one because I'm not using crossbow, and that's the most efficient killing tool out there. You know, like, I don't judge anybody for the equipment they use as long as it's legal. Woody, I got 4 deer with the trad bow this year with my recurve. 3 does and a buck. And I shot another buck, but we did not recover it. I put it in his shoulder and it wasn't good. Yeah, Jordan, that's the exact stance that Tony has taken with trad bows as well. I know he put the trad bow down 3 or 4 weeks ago now. And that's just kind of where he's at. You know, if he's hunting Pennsylvania, he'll take the recurve out because he already killed his buck. But when he's in Maryland and he's after, you know, this big 150 or 160, he's taken his compound. I've had a lot of heartbreaking moments in the last 2 weeks where I've had bucks within 35 yards that I know I could kill with the compound, and I can't even take a shot. Like, and I'll shoot 35 yards with the recurve when I'm out back, and I shoot pretty consistent at 35 yards. But it takes so long for your arrow to get there. It's just not. It's not worth it. It's not worth the risk. Jordan, that's awesome, man. The buck that I shot and did not recover was a big 10 point with split G2s. It was a cool deer. I saw him down by the creek the one day on Game Lands, and then I was like, all right, like let's backtrack by an hour. Let's try and figure out where he came from. And then over the next 3 days, I worked my way in. And on the third day, I shot him, and it just didn't work out the way I wanted it to. And the problem is, like, everybody says, like, oh, that was a horrible shot to take. But it's a shot that I've made multiple times with my compound, and I felt confident in the shot. So I took it, and I don't regret taking it, but I did not kill that deer. I'm 100% certain I did not kill that deer. Peter, congrats, man. What are you doing? No, I didn't hit the void, and I don't really believe in the void. I grunted, and he came straight into under the tree I was in. I mean, he was within 5 yards of the tree I was in, and I aimed. I was probably 2 inches too far forward. If I was 2 inches further back, I would have hit, single lung and liver, and it wouldn't have been a good blood trail by any means because it was straight on top, and I probably wouldn't have gotten an exit, but he would have been a dead deer. So, Audrey, that's awesome. What's up, Audrey? Welcome back. Yeah, Jordan, those straight down shots, like, and I've made a lot of them, dude. Like with the compound, you can get away with a lot. I mean, the momentum that a 580 grain arrow carries out of a 70-pound compound versus a 650 grain arrow out of a 43-pound recurve is tremendous. The difference there is ridiculous. With the compound, I probably would have blown through at least part of the shoulder enough to hit lung, Not that it would have been a good shot, but we would have killed that deer and we probably would have found it because it was in a pretty open area. It is what it is. You live and you learn, Sometimes you got to learn by making bad shots and learning a hard, painful lesson. That's part of archery. It's having the resilience to keep going and staying to it and just going from there. Yeah, Timmy, you might as well bring it over, but I'm going to kill the live here real soon. No, Woody, I haven't tried stone points. I don't really do the whole, what do they call it? Not traditional. They call it primitive. I don't really do the whole primitive hunting. This piece of wood here and that piece of wood there are going to be bows. I want to turn them into bows for next year and kill a deer with it. But I don't really do the whole primitive thing with like cedar arrows and wooden. I'm sorry, not wooden. Stone tips. IFV, I'm telling you, dude. Like, I had does at 25 yards last night, right? And I had a shot window that was like, it was like that. You know what I mean? And I'm sitting there. I'm like, I don't know how much my arrow's gonna arc, and I don't want to miss, or I don't want to take a bad shot down in Maryland. Because it's an hour and 45 minutes from home. If I take a bad shot, I'm literally going to be down there all night. So I ended up passing on deer, but passing on deer at 25 yards just sucks. Like I hate doing it because with a compound, it's a dead deer any day of the week. So I'm excited. Where I've been hunting in Maryland, I've had deer within 30 yards every single time. So it should be a good time. I'll have to try some. I'm not opposed to them. I haven't really got into it. So we'll see. Maybe that would be a cool project to do. Like if I'm going to go and build a bow, maybe that would be a cool project to do, is like build the arrows to go with it and then take a deer with that, Yeah, Jordan, the ethicality argument of it is like, if that's the case, then we probably shouldn't be using recurves or longbows at all. And then we also probably shouldn't be using compounds. We should all be using crossbows. So I don't know. Like I feel weird about that. Like, because a lot of what we do is we use more primitive equipment, you know? Peter, what are you talking about, brother? I feel like I missed something with you. Bill, don't act like you're not my neighbor who knows exactly where I'm shooting. That one might be a little low. We're getting a little lower. I'm probably ending the live here. I've been shooting for a while. Hour and a half is a long time to shoot the bows, at least in my opinion. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I got you, Peter. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. I'm missing some of the chat. Tim, why don't you get over here and you can shoot the bow for the next 80 minutes? How about that? So somebody told me a while back, it was on a live too. They were like, bend at your hips when you're trying to get your up and down, your elevation right, you know. And I've tried to work on that, and it's crazy how much that actually helps. I appreciate that, Peter. I know you've been on here a couple times before. I appreciate all of our fans that come back. Like I said, we're trying to build that community here that kind of builds each other up. Yeah, like, and I knew about the bend at the hips thing, because when you're shooting a deer with a compound like really close out of a tree, like you want to draw back like you normally do, and then you want to bend, and then you want to shoot, right? And that ensures that you're staying at your draw, your anchor point, you're staying at full draw. So I knew that with the compound. But when you're talking like little adjustments, like just shooting here, like where I naturally want to aim down a little bit and then just bend up at the waist a little, I mean, it's crazy how much that'll improve your shooting. Bill, we've been working super hard, man. I'm tired. I know, like, I told you earlier in the season, like, this is why we don't scout, you know, because the season's long enough and we scout our way in everywhere we go. So, you know, like we really don't do any preseason scouting. We kind of just go in off of what we know and the sign we're going to see. Timmy's got a buck to show us. Let's see this bad boy. Bring her on in here. Timmy's brother shot a buck yesterday.
Saturday morning.
I'm sorry, Saturday morning, yep. But show us, look at this thing, dude. How awesome is that? What a weird buck. Did you guys score it?
Yeah, so it actually scored 119.
Yeah, I believe it, dude.
We were
Look
off
at the
a
mass
little
on
bit.
that.
What hurt it was these points being broke.
Yeah.
It didn't get the point length, so it didn't get what it should have scored. I would roughly put it with all them points, full length, 125, maybe close to 130. But I mean, just a unique.
You're talking gross score and then net. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, you're talking net score and then gross. I don't know, what's the difference? I think net's overall and then gross is
Yeah, it's
something like that.
net is
I don't get too
overall,
caught up.
gross is with deductions.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you knew going into that it was going to have some because of that, but
But-
it's still an awesome deer, dude.
Fucking heavy too. Nice thickness, heavy.
Yeah, dude, he's got some mass on him. That's a sweet deer. Look at that.
Just a
Look at that thing.
unique buck that we will never have a
Look at that.
chance to shoot a buck like that again.
That's wild.
Within the next 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe, like, probably not though. Like, it's just such a cool deer, dude.
But according to the taxidermist, he is getting a shoulder mount. He did
Okay.
not have an option.
Yeah,
we told
absolutely.
him. Shive actually told him, if you don't get it mounted, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
But the taxidermist thinks it's one of the, what flies is it?
See, everybody's saying it's a moose, and I agree with them. It's part moose.
Well, my dad did name it Bowinkle. We had it on camera. He named it Bowinkle, but it's one of the bot flies or whatever. They think what happened is it got in there and it messed the whole growth of the antler up.
Interesting. Okay.
So
Cool.
but yeah, that's my brother's.
I mean, he must have been fighting, dude. Look how much just broke off. I mean, that's 4 tines that are broke off. He must have been getting after it. Yeah, because the
Well,
brow
there's one
tine.
6,
did a
actually
little
6.
bit.
So 1, 2, that broke off early. 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, that's crazy. There's a lot of bucks in this area.
A lot of big bucks. You just gotta find them and stick to them. I mean, this isn't the only big one I showed you that I had on camera either.
Yeah, I know I've seen quite a few while driving at night, and I've got a couple on camera. Difference between seeing them and killing them, though, I'll tell you that.
So yeah, I think the biggest mass on this part here was like 10 inches or some shit.
Yep. Yeah, I believe it. That's sweet, dude. Thanks for bringing it by.
The buck that got away from me.
Yeah, at least your brother killed it though. Like that's super
Yes.
cool. And his brother doesn't get to hunt a whole lot. He comes up here from West Virginia, so when he actually gets to hunt with his family, like it's a cool opportunity. So it's super cool that he got that buck.
I could have been more happier. I'm happy. I'm so happy he got it. I would have been happy if anybody in the family got it, but
Heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah.
next time it's a $50 fee to hunt my tree stand now.
I'm hunting your tree stand next. Don't worry about it. Jeez, throwing speed. She be throwing speed. You know, if I just wouldn't shoot the broadhead at the target, it would probably last a lot longer. And that fire's going nuts because I left that door cracked.
Rabbit, M&M, mostly a moose.
Alice, thank you for hopping on. I appreciate all the commentary, and I hope to see you again soon.
I have your other stuff in the back of the truck, yeah, unless you got it.
Oh, yeah, you do have all my drywall stuff for the house in there. At some point, I guess I probably have to grab that. You think it's getting smoky in here because I left that open?
I think it's fine.
Or should we close
I
it?
mean, you can see the smoke coming out.
Yeah, go ahead and close her. I'll wait to shoot. Unless you want to put an apple on your head, in which case then I'll shoot it off. And at some point, we're going to order some blacksmith's gloves. That way, you have something nice to put on your hand when you're touching the wood stove. Bill, I have not. I made jerky when did I make jerky last?
You had it in the office last week.
Yeah, it was last week and it was gone in like 2 days. And I made like 15 pounds of jerky. I made a lot of jerky. So if you have meat that you want me to make into jerky, I can do that for you. I have meat I can thaw and make into jerky. It's just one of these things where I have to actually do it.
Rabbit said on how a friend of his shot a 12-point,
Oh yeah.
but all 12-points broke.
I
That
guess.
sucks.
I don't. Rabbit, are you serious? Like you actually had a 12-point where all
It's
12, all the points broke off? Or was it a spike?
Tell me that the 13-pointer was 200. I don't know what 13-pointer Audrey's talking about.
Audrey's talking about the buck. Audrey, was it your dad that shot it? I don't want to misspeak. I can't remember who shot it. I know you were talking about this last time I was on the live though. Bill, what do you mean by a loin? Like what cut actually is it?
Oh, tell him that the 13-pointer was 200. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome though. 13-point 200. Solid buck.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't say solid. I can't say I ever saw
Okay,
a
that
buck
was
that big.
that was the deadhead they found on the property. Woody. Sometimes they'll shoot the black hunter with a cant. And as far as ground hunting goes, I don't do a lot of it. It's ground hunting's hard, and yeah, I mean that's all there is to it. I like being 30 feet in a tree if I have a say in it. That was way bad. Good Lord. As I point my broadhead.
Right in my face.
You mind your own business, Timmy.
Audrey, I know what you mean by having a target deer.
That arrow was like, that was wild. Because these arrows are way, way, way over spine for a 20-pound bow. Like way over spine for a 20-pound bow.
So Audrey, going back to target deer, I know how that feels. Alfred knows that buck was on my hit list since we got it on camera.
You had him in the summertime, didn't you? You still have velvet pictures of him, right?
I got him right after velvet.
Okay. I thought you had some velvet of him.
So that was one of the bucks I was after just because of the uniqueness of him. I didn't care how big he was and what he was going to score, just the uniqueness of it looking like a moose. And how many times did I go out and that was the one I was after along with the wide 8-point. It just so happened I had drill this past weekend. My brother was home to hunt. Me and Alfred were at the gap at the same time, and my brother sat in my tree stand, and he ended up coming across and he shot him. It's how hunting goes where we hunt up there on, it's private land, but it's, if you get a membership, you can go on it. It used to be open to the public for years until they turned it into a riding club. So,
Troy, that's crazy, dude. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you,
you're
but
good.
150 is a big deer, man.
So I'm just happy, at the end of it, I'm just happy that my brother or somebody I knew shot it, mostly my brother. I'm just happy I know somebody shot it and just not some random person that gets a membership up there that we don't know. So, off to the next one. Still have good bucks on camera. I know Al still has some bucks he's after in Maryland.
As far as like a hitless buck, like I don't have any cameras in Maryland right now. Other than just like I have a spot that I've seen 7 bucks the last 2 times I've sat there. You know, I don't really have anything special in mind, especially if I'm hunting with the trad bow. My goal is to, you know, kill more deer with the trad bow. If a spike walked past me, I would probably shoot it, and I'm not kidding. And I don't care how people feel about that. I'm being real with you guys. I think any deer with traditional archery equipment is a trophy. I mean, any deer regardless is a trophy. We put way too much emphasis on the size of the antlers and not the fact that you're putting meat in the freezer, I think. And quite frankly, my first year deer hunting, I had small bucks come within range of me that I could have killed, and I passed on because I was afraid of being made fun of for shooting a small buck. And I think that mindset for new hunters is toxic, and it's a horrible thing that we do in our community. And I won't stand for it on this channel. That's for damn sure.
I'm always going to tell you every buck you shoot there's a tapey.
That's fine. I mean, I can live with that now. But I know what I know now. You know what I mean? Like, I can handle that now. But the fact that, like, a guy who had never shot a buck before was passing on bucks, like, is just stupid. It's freaking stupid. And that's about all you can say about it.
Wow, thanks.
I mean, brand new bow hunter Alfred is passing on bucks because he's trying to hold out for a big 120. Like, that's just, it's
I hope
crazy.
that was nothing because what I always said to you.
No, it wasn't. Tim, you've always been a shoot what makes you happy kind of guy, and that's what I love about you.
It's just hard. Like after you shoot a quality buck, like you always kind of chase it. And this might sound terrible to some of you guys, and you can pitch in on this too. My nephew asked me, my 10-year-old nephew sat down and asked me, he goes, if that buck walks in front of us, are you gonna let me shoot it? I told my nephew straight out, no. I'm not gonna let my 10-year-old nephew shoot a buck of a lifetime at such a young age, because it's just, like, I look at hunting as a sport. So I feel if he does that, it's just going to ruin him at such a young age, shooting a top tier PA buck, even though it's scored 119, the uniqueness of it, everything.
A 119 is bigger than any deer I've shot.
But I'm just saying.
That's a great Pennsylvania buck, and I don't care what anybody says.
But I'm just saying, like, that's going to ruin him for the rest of the year's hunting, because that's the only thing he's going to want. He's going to want to hit match that or get better.
I mean, I would have a hard time telling a child, like, no, don't shoot any deer, you know? But that being said, I understand your logic behind it. But yeah, I'd have a hard time telling anybody, no, don't shoot it. All right, Rabbit, thanks for hopping on, man. Appreciate you. And I'll catch you around, man. Wow, at least I'm freaking consistent.
I was about to say, your fucking group there is tight.
I mean, it's not where I want it to be because that's like a lung and liver, maybe. It's really not where I want that shot to be, but I mean, heck, I shouldn't shoot this broadhead because I might actually split an arrow at this rate.
Do it.
I don't want to split an arrow. Arrows are expensive.
Can you shoot this?
I don't know if I can or can't. I'll try though. Give me a second.
Terrible wrong tip to be on it. Definitely the wrong tip to be on it. This can go 5 different directions. Like, you almost have to hold it.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on it. Let's shoot a crossbow bolt out of a.
You're gonna have to roll it.
This is just silly.
I mean,
This is where I put an. I don't want to do this. This is where I put a bolt through the windshield of my car.
Let me see if I can actually just hold it. I'm curious now. I'm not actually going to do it unless you tell me to do it.
Robert, man, I'll tell you something. Tony and I are very experienced bow hunters. I killed 10 deer before I picked up, and that was in 2 years. I killed 10 deer in 2 years with my compound, and Tony has killed probably 50 in the last 5 years, okay? I would consider us very experienced bow hunters. And I can tell you for both of us, the first time we had a deer come in front of us and we were using the trad bows, it was something else. I mean, it was a surreal experience. It actually got my heart pumping again, which is something I don't really get. Like shooting does with a compound doesn't really excite me. I like to do it, but it doesn't really get the heart pumping, you know? And I can't put it down because it's like the only thing that really does that for me anymore.
Hey, buddy.
What's up?
So, them target inserts, can you order them?
Yeah, that's a new insert for
No,
me.
but do you have like a recycling order on them?
Maybe, I don't know.
You should check into that because that's only 2 weeks old.
Yeah, I know. That insert's torn up already, dude. That's what happens when you put that many arrows through. But I think now might be about the time where we call it on the live.
Did you answer Robert's question there?
I didn't. What did Robert
This year
say?
was not really a question, but this year was
Yeah.
your hunting trad and didn't seal the deal, but
Yeah, I was just talking about that. Yeah, J-Rock, like there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Like if you don't, I'm not hating on it at all. If you don't shoot 5 deer a year or more, you know, it probably does get your heart pumping. And that's a good thing. Like it's an awesome feeling. That's why we bow hunt, you know. But for those of us who are out there and we're killing 5+ deer a year, when a doe comes by, it's kind of like, all right, like, ploop, and you're done, you know. So the recurves are a great way to like get that feeling back where like you feel like you have to execute everything perfectly. It gets your blood pumping. You get that hyper sense of focus back. You know, that's why a lot of us love archery, and I think it's just a really cool way. Like modern compounds are super easy, and it's just a cool way to get back. So. Yeah, so J Rock, like you get it. It's the same thing, man. So, you know, I'm actually super excited to shoot a deer with a rifle this year. I've never done it, so. Robert Fair, you got to enjoy that time with your dad, man. You never know how long it's gonna last. I know my dad's getting older. He cannot get out health-wise. He can't get out as much as he used to. So you gotta savor those moments, man. But alrighty, guys, I've been on for way too long, just kind of rambling. And know anything about the Barnett? No, I do not know anything about the Barnetts. Tim, you've hunt with crossbows. How are the Barnetts rated? I don't think I've heard too great things about them, honestly.
So the Barnetts, I know people have them, and they use them for a couple years, and they kind of use that as their starting point, really. So you have a bunch of brands out that you use. Center Point as like a starting bow.
My Wicked Ridge is pretty much a starting bow. The Wicked Ridge 10 point.
Even Killer Instinct, and Killer Instinct is relatively new into the game, like the past 3-4 years. I have a Killer Instinct, and I won't veer away from it. A lot of people like the Ravens, the 10 points. My thing is, I kill as many deer with the Killer Instinct as what people do with a Raven or a 10 point. So it kind of comes down to your bow preference, the amount of money you want to spend, and if you want to spend the money for the brand name over to something that works just as well.
Well, so there you have it. So that was a good question to ask tonight, because I'm not going to claim to be a crossbow expert. I have one. I don't shoot a whole lot. But I think next season you guys are going to see some crossbow action in here too. Maybe this season too. We'll see. Yeah, J-Rock, man, I feel you. Like, my dad's still around, but he can't really hunt as much anymore. So it's kind of like weird. Like, I have these memories of waterfowl hunting with him, and he's just not able to do it anymore, you know? So, you know, he's still around, thankfully, but not being able to hunt with him anymore is kind of weird. But on that note, guys, I think we are going to wrap it up for the night. Me and Tim, I got to pull some of the stuff I have out of his truck, and I owe him a reciprocating saw. And I appreciate everybody hopping on. You guys have been awesome, like always. I appreciate all the comments. And yeah, hopefully you guys subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content. And we'll see you guys soon.